I shall have to decide who has better judgment over which Carol to do, me or Wayne Shorter. Hi, welcome to day 9 of our saxophone advent calendar challenge, or whatever you want to call it, playlist delights, whatever. I've lost the advent calendar, which is a bit of a problem. So day 9, I'm just going to open a window now. There you go. Today's day, today's guy is Joe Lovano. There's a track I've put on this playlist that is kind of up there with Charlie Parker's version of this track's Laura. I think Lovano's version of Laura on his album Tenor Legacy is just wonderful. It's just beautiful. I'm transcribing it at the moment in a kind of quest to be able to play it half as good as he plays it. He's played with some pretty heavy cats over the time. I mean, he first kind of came to prominence in the Woody Herman Orchestra. He's played with Mel Lewis, John Scofield, Paul Motion. Paul Motion was a good band leader and picked very good musicians on his albums. He's also played with McCoy Tyner. You've got McCoy Tyner on there. Ravi, Mike Brecker. So there's some pretty heavy cats that have been very happy to hook up with Joe. I've just got back from 5 hours of teaching the guys you saw in yesterday's vlog. We had another concert with them this afternoon, and then they had a rehearsal afterwards. And one of the things I was doing with them was I was talking through, using kind of a Tim Ferriss model, doing this thing where you say, right, tell me 3 things you did well. Tell me 3 things you were happy with on that. Tell me 3 things you'd like to do on your next gig. And what are 3 things that you didn't do so well yesterday that you can maybe improve on next time? Emphasizing the positive. And I've spoken about this in my vlog on honest introspection, about how at times I've taken a notebook and I have literally just drawn a line down the middle, put positive, negatives, and I have just made myself list positives before I list a negative about my own playing. And sometimes other people's playing. Because it's very easy to be negative. It's, you know, it's the same on YouTube, it's the same on Twitter. I mean, on Twitter the other day, I decided to stand up for my MP. I don't agree with her, I haven't voted for her, but I was standing up for what she does because I know her as a person, and I think she's a pretty decent person. And people just got, people just close down and get really aggressive. But that's subject for another time. But definitely getting into this habit of, okay, what did we do well? What do we want to achieve from this, and then getting out the side of it, rather than getting, sorry, my Apple Watch is going mad, rather than kind of just, oh, I didn't like that gig, it was really bad, and I didn't do this right, I didn't do that right, because you'll always amplify your own negatives, and other people will amplify your positives most of the time, if they're good people to be around anyway. I've also got 2 very important things to do right now. The first one is to cook Christmas dinner for my in-laws, because they live in Northern Ireland, they won't be here for Christmas, so we're going to do Christmas dinner this afternoon, and presents and everything with the kids. Katie's taking the kids out to the school Christmas fair. I'd rather be on the, no, I'd rather be on the rack, to be honest. No, I've also got lots to do, because I got an email on Thursday, and it was confirmed yesterday, that I've now got to play for a national radio broadcast tomorrow in London, and I've got to play a couple of pieces that I know, and then I've got to improvise something. It's more of a classical type gig with an organist, so I've got to figure something out that works on soprano saxophone with an organist. I've also been told I've got 10 minutes rehearsal, possibly. I reckon that 10 minutes will probably go, and I'll just have to do it live. But make sure you check out Joe Lovano. If you get the chance to hear him live, go and do it. There are times when I have listened to Michael Brecker until I've nearly worn out my headphones. There have been months when I haven't listened to any Mike Brecker at all. There have been years when I've listened to Coltrane non-stop. There have been a few months when I haven't listened to much Coltrane. It's fine. I think we grow and we move along, and I think the beauty of having, in the past, a good record collection, now the idea of these playlists, is that you can move where the mood takes you sometimes. If you're studying, though, you need to have a good, broad understanding of so many different players. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Thank you for the comments. I know most of you use Spotify. Somebody came out with an idea the other day. They said Apple Music really should be about £7 or something like that to entice people on, because it is easier to share playlists across thing. It takes me a minute. There's a little app called Song Shifter, which I highly recommend, which means you can take Spotify playlists, turn them into Apple Music, take Apple Music playlists, turn them into Spotify playlists. And I think it also works for Deezer and YouTube as well. So if you're on Deezer and you kind of need my playlist moving, let me know, because if I'm not going to be missing out on anyone, I'm not going to maybe do a whole Deezer playlist kind of thing, because I'm not signed up for that anyway. But use Song Shift. It's a really, really good app. It's on iOS for definite, and pretty sure it's on Android as well. Anyway, I must find some soprano stuff. That's a tune called the Coventry Carol, and it has what's called a Picardy third at the end, where instead of playing the minor chord, even though the whole thing's in a minor key, you raise the third so you finish on a major chord. I remember hearing that. I think I must have been year 5, what's that? So it's a year older than what my daughter is now, so it's been 9, 10. I could have been, yeah. And I just started playing saxophone, and we used to have these little carol books. We used to play at this place called Marsh Mill, which is not far from where I grew up with my primary school band. And I remember playing Coventry Carol, and I remember loving it because the fact you got that tonal change. And I think as a kid, if you've got kids that are reacting like that to music sometimes, it kind of, the light bulb goes on. I just was like, oh yeah, that's good. And I then recorded it on my album Language of Emotion, which you can get on iTunes. You know, I cringe sometimes when listening back to my old recordings, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed making it at the time. It features a fine quartet, but really, really fine piano player. I'm sad I don't get the chance to work with as much anymore because he's gone on to bigger things. A guy called Jonathan Gavu. Wayne Shorter did it. I think he did. Which one did he do? I'll have to dig it out. He did one of his albums. He did like a 12th century French carol. And I do like a lot of those kind of earlier French melodies. There's just something about them that seem to sit well on the saxophone. Maybe that's how it's worked around. I might do that. I might try and find the Wayne one. Maybe he, I don't know. I'm going to have to go look. I shall have to decide who has better judgment over which carol to do, me or Wayne Shorter. It'll definitely probably be Wayne, but I'll decide when I know what the orchestra and the choir are playing tomorrow, because I don't want to play that one if they're going to play it. Maybe it'll work, I don't know, but... So it's Christmas dinner #1 in the Forshaw household. It's not the first Christmas dinner I've eaten because we had Christmas dinner last. Oh gosh, we're steaming up because I've had this outside doing that lovely time lapse for you. There we go, that's better. I'm going to show you my #1 Christmas dinner hack, okay? Now the first thing I do is I make sure my oven is like the hottest it can be, and have had it hot for a long time. Like this has been going full whack at 270 degrees, which is probably why this is going to steam up even more in a minute, for about the last half an hour. Get all my food out. So what I'll do is I work out what time I want to serve, and I want to serve about 6 o'clock, okay, when we're just after 6. So basically, I know my turkey's going to take 2 hours, or just under 2 hours. So I put in what time it needs to go in. So it's 4:10, so this needs to go in now, okay? And then I just basically note the times down, and then I can see it all in front of me, and I know what time I've got to put stuff in at. Before you all dive into those comment sections going, Dan, how can you be cooking Christmas dinner without a real turkey? Well, we're not having turkey this year anyway, but Waitrose, oh gosh, that sounds so middle class, doesn't it? Well, Waitrose don't actually sell proper turkeys yet. Basically, the best you can do is get these pre-packaged breast things, because they don't sell the real things until about the 20th of December. So this is the best I could get. And this stuff, oh, you're at an angle there. Sea salt flakes is amazing. Far better than using normal salt. I love these sea salt flakes. What are you doing down there?
Nice and carrots just here. Nice. Yeah, darling.
absolutely stuffed after that Christmas dinner now. Going through that kind of post-turkey coma and everything else like that. I don't know how much. I'm going to have to walk a long way tomorrow to make up for that. Thank you very much for watching today's vlog. I hope you'll enjoy that Joe Lovano playlist and you'll share it and you'll share what we're doing with this saxophone advent calendar with other saxophone players you know. Got a lovely email back from Mark today. He's told me he's sharing around his whole group of different saxophone players. So thank you, Mark. Thank you to all of you who've contributed. Remember, if I'm not including your particular favourite, some of you have commented already, guys, share your own playlist, please do. Don't feel you have to add to mine. Create your own playlist, share it with the world. Let's see, let's get some more playlists out there for these amazing saxophone players. Don't forget, check out what I was doing in yesterday's vlog here, and this is what I was up to this time last year, but more importantly, please hit that subscribe button if you don't already. I will see you tomorrow with another saxophone player on our saxophone advent calendar. Thank you very much. Bye bye.